A new inquest has been ordered into the death of Private Cheryl James at Deepcut Barracks in Surrey. The 18-year-old was found dead from a single gunshot wound in 1995, and the inquest at the time recorded an open verdict. She was one of 4 soldiers who died at the Surrey barracks between 1995 and 2002 amid claims of bullying and abuse. Our reporter James Hurst is at the High Court with the latest.
Well, the courts today cast a pretty damning verdict on the original inquest back in 1995, completed in less than a month. The court was told it was in all circumstances insufficient and that it was in the interests of justice that its verdict is quashed, its open verdict, and that a fresh inquest is now held. In part, that is because there is a considerable amount of extra evidence to be considered, including some from files that Surrey police have not yet handed over to the family. The court heard, includes ballistics evidence to do with the noise of the gunshot, fragments of bullets, and also, or fragments of a single bullet, and the credibility of some witnesses. Well, with me now is Cheryl James' father, Des. This has been a long battle for you. How does it feel to have been told you can have this fresh inquest?
I think it's reassuring, obviously, after almost 20 years, that finally somebody believes us. I think it's disappointing that the government of the day worked so hard to stem any real inquiry into the deaths. And I think when young soldiers' lives are lost in such tragic circumstances, the very least all recruits, all army personnel should expect is a dignified and proper investigation into their death by the body that employs them and by the country whom they serve.
Almost 2 decades on, can a fresh inquest actually give you the answers that you want? I guess it is answers that you're looking for from this.
Well, I think that the answers that I want, I don't know what they are. Clearly, I'd like to know the truth as much as we're able to grasp. And I think the fact that we've been held back for 20 years tells its own story. When my daughter died, the inquest was held within 3 weeks. It lasted less than an hour. It was clearly an inadequate investigation, and I think it's appalling that it takes us 20 years to get somebody in the High Court to agree that it was an appalling and inadequate investigation. And as I said, I think soldiers and armed forces personnel deserve much better than that.
You have continued to fight across those 18 years. How hard is it to keep that up?
Obviously, it's very difficult. My life and my wife's life was destroyed when we lost our only daughter, clearly. But I don't think that we've done anything that most parents wouldn't do. When you know that something is so dreadfully wrong, when it's so clear to you that people around you are telling lies, what else can you do? You can't walk away. And I repeat, I just think that all recruits, not just the kids that died at Deepcut, deserve the guarantee of a dignified and thorough investigation when lives are lost in peacetime in leafy Surrey in a training camp.
Ms. James, thank you very much indeed. The court was told that it is likely this fresh inquest will be held under the jurisdiction of Surrey's chief coroner, but it could be moved somewhere else if it's judged that it's in a conflict of interest given the history of the case. Those details are still to be decided, and of course the timing of the inquest itself.
The human rights group Liberty, which represented the parents of Private Cheryl James, has praised the family for pursuing their case. Liberty solicitor Emma Norton spoke to James Hurst.
It's an extraordinary day for them. It's been almost 20 years since their daughter died, and they finally feel today that somebody in authority is listening to them. And the judgment today from the chief coroner in the High Court was very detailed and extremely helpful, and they feel vindicated for having pushed as far as they have.
I have to say, it sounded pretty damning as well.
I think it is. I think it is damning, and I think it's going to be damning. It's taken us a long time. We've had to threaten to take the authorities to court to get access to the materials about Cheryl and her death. And what was disclosed was a very wide range of materials: notebooks, statements, photographs, ballistics evidence. And on the basis of that, we made the application today, and clearly in actually a very short period of time, the court decided, yeah, there's grounds here.
What can a fresh inquest provide, though? 18 years on, can it come up with a certain conclusion?